Hello everyone, welcome back to Axes, and with me is contributing writer James Burns with the Pine Log. And, well, the Oscars was this past Sunday, and I enjoyed the Oscars. It was a wonderful ceremony. We're going to be here talking about what should have won, what we liked that won, just pretty much everything. Enjoy.
Yeah, Best Picture. So, front runner, we had The Revenant. Had a lot of momentum coming into after the nominations were announced back in January. It won the Golden Globe. It won the BAFTA, which is like the British Academy Award.
Yeah.
It won just a lot of like Critics' Choice and things like that. So I had expected it to win, even though it was like my least favorite movie of last year. But Spotlight came back up. It was the front runner in September and October, right after all the film festivals, and it won that first round of Critics' Choice Awards and group and things like that. And it lost a lot of momentum when Revenant came out, and then The Big Short came out in November. That had a lot of momentum as well, surprisingly,
Yeah.
But Spotlight came up from underneath and won Best Picture and Best Original Screenplay. So it was a nail-biter to the end. We haven't seen a race this close between three movies since 2013, when American Hustle, 12 Years a Slave, and Gravity were vying for that top prize. 12 Years a Slave eventually won. I think it was well-deserved. But Spotlight won. Huge surprise for me, at least, but also not a surprise, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I understand. What did you want to win?
Honestly, I think the best film overall as a medium last year was Mad Max Fury Road. It had action, suspense, completely three-dimensional characters, revolutionary visual effects, especially in this age of oversaturation with CGI and stuff. A lot of practical effects that just look great on screen. And it was, I just think it was the most perfect film of last year as a whole. So I really wanted that to win because I feel like that was the best picture of last year.
For me, what I wanted to win was The Martian. I was all for The Martian this year.
Great film.
It was my favorite movie of last year. Everything about that movie was fantastic. I went in knowing nothing about it, and I fell in love with it as soon as I saw it. It was great just because it was a film where all the characters were lovable.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you wanted everyone to succeed, and you were just pushing for everyone. There weren't any characters that were like, oh, I hate this guy, I just want him to go away, and he just totally ruins the film. It was just, you rooted for him through the entire film, and it was amazing.
Great, I love The Martian as well. It was in my top 10 of last year. I think Matt Damon had a really solid chance at Best Actor at the beginning of the year, but we all know who won Best Actor this year. Leonardo DiCaprio finally has an Academy Award on his shelf for one of the worst movies of last year, in my personal opinion. But he worked hard for it. He's been gunning for that Oscar since 1994, I believe, and What's Eating Gilbert Grape came out, and now he has one, to the delight of his fans. Personally, I would have given the award to Michael Fassbender for Steve Jobs. I feel like he brought complexity and humor, and also a bit of that egotistical vibe that we get from Steve Jobs, and he made what could have been a stereotypical character, kind of this like myth that we have of Steve Jobs. He turned it into a completely three-dimensional performance, and what I thought was the best performance of last year. And I just feel like if it had been released any other year, we'd have Academy Award winner Michael Fassbender on all the headlines. But what about you?
For me, I did not want Leo to win. While I did enjoy The Revenant, I felt Leo just acted more.
Yeah.
Like, he did more things.
Well, Leo's a great actor.
Yeah, he's awesome. Like, I think he should have won back in 2012 when
Yeah.
he wasn't nominated for Django.
Or even The Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah.
It was I feel like that was more of a difficult role than The Revenant was. But you're right. I assume you wanted Matt Damon, or
Definitely Matt Damon. For Matt Damon, for me, while I said Leo, I felt like he just did more for the role, but it still felt like Leonardo DiCaprio acting in a movie. With Matt Damon, I felt like I wasn't even watching Matt Damon on screen.
Mark Watney.
Yeah, it was amazing, and I've never really felt that type of immersion in a film before since Django Unchained with Leonardo DiCaprio. But I felt Matt Damon really created an awesome, lovable character, and I wanted him to win all the way through, get home, and I didn't think it was Matt Damon at all as I was watching it.
I also feel like someone who got kind of snubbed was Michael B. Jordan for Creed, because again, I mean, you've got this. It's a Rocky movie, but Rocky's a supporting character.
Yeah.
And I just feel like Michael B. Jordan brought a lot of energy and heart and humor to his role as Adonis Creed, and I feel like he should have gotten more recognition from not just the Academy, but just all over the award spectrum this year.
That's still one I have to see. It's been on my list for years because I'm a huge Rocky fan. Like, I loved Rocky Balboa back in 2006, and I want to see him like progress.
No, it's a great film. It was one of the best directed movies I saw last year, outside of Mad Max. Ryan Coogler, great at becoming director. Speaking of Mad Max, technical
Yes.
awards out. I mean, just swept the technical categories.
Completely took over, except for
It lost two. It lost Best Visual Effects to Ex Machina, which was one of my top 5 favorite movies of last year, and Best Cinematography to The Revenant.
I felt like those two should have gone to Mad Max because Mad Max was beautiful.
It's a technical masterpiece.
Oh yeah, it was like
No matter how you feel about it, you cannot deny that it is visually and technically incredible.
it made destruction beautiful.
It did.
It was madness and awesomeness combined, but it looked like
It was
art. It was
a
great.
masterpiece of visual, and the reason The Revenant won, I believe, was just because, again, it had that kind of momentum. But also, Emmanuel Lubezki is a great cinematographer,
Yeah, it has a lot of really long takes, or what
Yeah.
appears to be long takes.
and they shot it with just natural light. So everything you see, there's no light, there's no lights, there's no like fixed lights. It's the sun and the sky and stars and all that, and it looks nice. But
Yeah.
if I had to choose best cinematography, Mad Max Fury Road, all the way,
Definitely.
all the way.
I felt like Mad Max was the Grand Budapest Hotel of this year. Like, Grand Budapest Hotel won
All
like
those technical categories.
yeah, and then it was nominated for Best Picture and didn't win. And Mad Max, while it won more than Grand Budapest, it still didn't.
And
even
Mad
go
Max
into
walked
it.
away with 6 awards.
Yeah, it was awesome. I'm so happy that like the 4th movie in an awesome series is
Yeah.
like winning all these awards. It's never been done. It's never been done before, I don't think.
It's incredible. I'm kind of sad it lost Best Picture and Best Director, but still. Back-to-back directing Oscars for 2 of my least favorite movies.
I really enjoyed Birdman last year, but this year I felt it should have gone to George Miller.
George Miller.
Definitely.
Mad Max. 70-year-old man working out, making a film in the desert.
Yeah.
And he's making cars flip and explode, and there's a flamethrower guitar, and
Yeah,
I think it's a travesty.
he's been working for like 20 years on this movie.
Yes.
It's insane. And then
incredible.
he goes in and blows everyone away at the Academy Awards. It's amazing. Was yours George Miller?
George
Best
Miller.
director?
George Miller. I feel like no one crafted a movie quite like Mad Max last year. And it wasn't like my favorite movie of last year, but like
Yeah.
I said, I think it was the best overall film of last year, and I think George Miller deserved recognition from the Academy for what he created.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you for tuning into Axes, and we'll see you next week.
Yo. Yo. Yo.